Hello and welcome back to Everyday Adventures in Cooking with Rick. Tonight is something I've made before. Normally I make this outside in my pizza oven, and we'll do that sometime. A little cold out tonight, so we're making it inside. This is Gözleme. It's a Turkish pocket food, something very popular in Turkey according to a friend of mine who's from Turkey, that can be filled with a lot of different things. And tonight we are making a spinach and feta cheese gözleme. Now I think I'm saying that probably wrong. He always corrects me, but I'm doing the best I can. So anybody from Turkey who's watching this or knows this and you want to correct me, that's fine. But it's something that we're going to make on the stove top tonight. But like I said, you can bake it, you can make it in a pizza oven. Really simple recipe. We had some we had some spinach that we had to use before it went bad, so I had the idea to make this. Simple ingredients. We're going to make a simple dough with flour, water, salt, and some Greek yogurt and a little olive oil. Our filling is nothing more than spinach, feta cheese, and a little black pepper. Couldn't be any easier. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our dough so that it can rest for a little while we make our filling. See you in a minute. Alright, so we're going to put the dough together. We're going to get a nice big bowl. We're going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to add about a teaspoon of salt. And mix those two together. Oops, sorry about that, made a little mess. Make a little well in the middle. Here we've got a half a cup of water. To that, we're going to mix the wet ingredients separately in here. We're going to add about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. This is going to make a really soft dough, which is what you want for this, because you have to roll it out really thin. Okay. Then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of yogurt. I'm using Greek yogurt here, which I think is the best thing to use for this. Like I said, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt to our wet ingredients. We're going to mix those wet ingredients together. Sorry about that. Get those mixed up good. And then we're going to add this to our flour. Alright, well, mixed up tonight, but anyway, we're going to add our wet ingredients to our flour, just like you would any dough, a little bit at a time. And when you make these, we're going to be making a pocket out of this, and we want the dough to be really thin. So we want this dough to be super smooth, and the yogurt and the oil helps with that. Get all that mixed together, and then we're going to get our hands in there. And like any dough, sometimes you may have to add a little more water or a little more flour depending on how it is. And we'll see how this one comes out. So now we just have to get our hands in there. Start putting this together. So the one we're making tonight is a spinach and feta gözleme, I'm not sure. Another very traditional one is with lamb. Minced lamb, which I have not tried yet. Hopefully I will try that one soon. So our dough's starting to come together. I think we might need a little bit more water in this. But we're going to put this out on the board and knead this for just a couple minutes. I'm going to put just 1 or 2 drops of water in there. I think that's all it needed. Okay. So now we're going to transfer this to the table. We're going to knead this for probably about 5 minutes to get it super smooth. So I'm going to continue kneading this together and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, so I've been kneading the dough for about 5 minutes and it is now really soft. You can feel how soft it is. So now we're going to take that dough, we're going to cover it up and let it rest for at least a half an hour to an hour, and then we'll be back to put this together. Okay, so our dough has been resting for about an hour and we're going to now make the filling, which literally takes about 2 seconds. All we have in the filling is our spinach. Here I have about 6 ounces, sorry about that, 6 ounces of spinach, which I've already washed. And again, this, you know, all over the world, wherever you go, whether it's New York City, you go to Turkey, you go to Italy, there's street food, there's things that people make that is something you can grab and go. It's just a traditional food. I was told that this is also something you might have, you know, you come home from school and you need a quick snack. This is something that people might make. But these kind of foods are something that I love to make. These simple, traditional foods from all over the world. Just a couple ingredients, easy to make. And you can customize these any way you like. So again, this one I'm making is the spinach and feta. You can add the meat, the lamb, ground beef, however you want it. So we've got that spinach cut up. Put that in the bowl. To that, we're going to add our feta cheese, which I'm just going to crumble in there. This again is about 6 ounces of feta cheese. So I'm going to break it up so it's nice and small. Now we've got our spinach, our cheese. We're going to add some black pepper to that, fresh ground black pepper. And that's really it. Now you can add, I'm going to add a little bit, and this is to your taste, a little bit of red pepper flakes. I like just a little bit of heat in there. Here we go. Sorry about that. I'm getting the dirty looks from the camera person because I forgot about the chili flakes. I like just a little bit of hot pepper flakes in there to give it a little bit of spice. And then you're just going to mix this up. And that's the filling, that's it. You don't need to add any salt because the feta cheese has so much salt in it. Okay, now I've already got my pan. I got a cast iron skillet here that I'm heating up on a medium heat, just about medium heat. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this dough and I'm actually going to weigh a little bit to try and get these even. I'm going to want about 2.5 ounces of dough. See how good I am. Boy, am I good. That's just about 2.5 ounces. Sorry, I shouldn't be, being so vain, I guess. We're going to add a little bit of flour on there just so it doesn't stick. And like I said, this dough is very soft. because of that yogurt we put in there in the olive oil. Now we want to roll this out as thin as we can into a rectangle if we can. Right. And if it's sticking, just add a little more flour to your surface. A little, and again with anything that you're making for the first time or whatever, you're gonna, get used to this. You can see how thin this dough is coming out. I may need a little bit bigger piece of dough, but this should be fine. But you want it, and that's not a rectangle, is it? But it'll do. It's the first one. I haven't made these in a little while. And you see that? But you can turn it into a rectangle by twisting your rolling pin around a little bit. Okay. So now once you get it rolled out into a nice rectangle, all you're going to do is you're going to take some of your filling. Make sure you get that cheese mixed in there. Put a little bit of that filling in the center. All right. Then you're going to fold it over. Fold it over this way. Bring this side over, and you made a little pocket. Now you're actually going to roll it again a little bit with the rolling pin to get that nice and flat. Look at that. Okay, beautiful. And that seals it and makes it nice and flat. Now our pan is hot. I don't know can you see that over here? Mm-hmm. All right. So the pan is hot. We're going to add a little oil to the pan. Turn that down just a little. And now we're going to add our pocket. And we're going to cook that for about maybe 3 minutes on each side, get it nice and brown. So let's let that cook and then we'll flip it over. So this has been cooking for about 3 minutes on this side. Look at that. Beautiful. So now we're going to let that go for about 3 minutes on that side. And it's going to be ready to eat. All right, so this has now been cooking for about 3 minutes on each side, 2 to 3 minutes on each side. It's beautiful, nice and brown. So we're going to take this off the heat here. And this over here. Look at that. Beautiful. We're going to just top that with a little bit of olive oil. We're going to cut this. Look at that. Spinach, the cheese, the outside is nice and crispy. The dough is super thin. For something so simple, so few ingredients, it is so good. And again, you can mix it up with that meat. Do whatever you want. I personally love this spinach and cheese one. This is something that we like to have as an appetizer if friends come over, especially in the summer. If I've got my pizza oven going, you cook these in a pizza oven, fantastic. While the people are milling around and waiting, delicious. Again, this is Turkish Gözleme, Spinach and Feta Gözleme. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you try this recipe and let me know if you do. Like it, share it, make some comments. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.